Welcome to the 2021 LACBA Installation and Award Celebration. Please welcome the President of the Los Angeles County Bar Association, Tamala C. Jensen.
Thank you for attending this year's virtual event. Tonight we induct Brad Pauley as our new LACBA President and install new officers and Board of Trustee members. We will also be presenting several well-deserved awards and hear from our guest speaker, Senator Alex Padilla. Let's start by introducing tonight's sponsors. Our gold sponsors are Brote, Gross, and Fishbein, Brown, George, Ross, O'Brien, Anagui and Ellis, LLP, Buchalter, Horvitz and Levy, Munger, Tolles and Olson, LLP, Toyota Financial Services, and Toyota Legal One. Our silver sponsors are Beverly Hills Bar Association, Hill, Ferrer, and Burrell, LLP, JAMS, Judicate West, LACBA Small Firm and Sole Practitioner Section, Signature Resolution. Bronze sponsors are ADR Services, Inc., Alternate Resolution Centers, ARC, Errant Fox, Black Women Lawyers of Los Angeles, Christine Spagnoli, Counsel Press, Inc., Davis Wright Tremaine, LLP, DLA Piper, LLP, Eric Weber and Gerard Krahenfeld, First Legal, Foley and Mansfield, Frankfurt, Kerned, Klein and Sells, Gibson Dunn, Kiesel Law, LLP, Kutik Rock, LLP, LACBA Appellate Law Section Executive Committee, Law Office of Tamala C. Jensen, Lim Nexus, LLP, Manat, Phelps and Phillip, LLP, Miller, Barristers, LLP, Norton, Rose, Fulbright, O'Melveny, Pansky, Markle, Pepperdine, Caruso School of Law, Shepard Mullen, Chernoff, Bedard, Echeverria, LLP, Westerman Law Corp, and Western Bonaventure Hotel and Suites. The support of our sponsors has helped to make this event possible, along with the hard work of our celebration committee. There are quite a few people on the committee this year, and they are Ann Park, Chair, Kristen Adrian, Sarvanaz Bahar, Ron Brote, Carlos Dominguez, Rima Alamami, Christine Goodman, David Gurnick, Amos Hartson, Tammy Jensen, Wes Kennedy, Phil Lamb, Jeff Margolis, Jeannie Nishimoto, Jason Parnell, Brad Pauley, Ben Schatz, Carolyn Vincent, Jeff Westerman, Derek Whitefield, and Sandra Wooten. So let's start the festivities with our first award. The first award is the Outstanding Jurist Award. This was established more than 40 years ago. The Outstanding Jurist Award recognizes distinguished bench careers as well as contributions to community and the practice of law. This year's recipient is the Honorable Virginia A. Phillips. In 1999, President Clinton appointed Chief Judge Phillips to the United States District Court for the Central District of California. In 2016, she became Chief Judge of the district. Before joining the federal bench, Judge Phillips served for 4 years on the California Superior Court and was a magistrate judge in the Central District during the late 1990s. She was a partner at Best and Krieger and founding member and president of the Inland Empire chapter of the Federal Bar Association and the Leo A. Deegan Inn of Court, where she served as a judicial master and member of the board of directors. She has held leadership roles with a range of community organizations and has been recognized throughout the state for her work. And tonight we present the Honorable Virginia A. Phillips with the Los Angeles County Bar Association's 2021 Outstanding Jurist Award.
Thank you to the Los Angeles County Bar Association, the Board of Trustees, and the nominating committee for this award. The partnership between the bench and bar is crucial to our joint mission, equal justice under law, and this Bar Association provides a vital link for communication and mutual support between judges and lawyers. I'm honored and humbled to be joining the list of past awardees with so many friends and colleagues who've inspired me, like Terry Hatter, Connie Marshall, Margaret Morrow, Audrey Collins, Lee Edmond, and my friend, the late Beverly Reed O'Connell. I'm also grateful, and I want to acknowledge all those who've helped me every day for the past 25 plus years at the district court. My family is smart, funny, and hardworking law clerks, my courtroom deputy clerks and court reporters, and all of the people behind the scenes at the district court in the clerk's office who make it possible for us to meet all the challenges of the largest and busiest federal trial court in the country. And most of all, thanks to Kyrie Gray for her peerless leadership as the Central District's court executive and whose service to the court for more than 30 years, but especially the last very difficult year during this unprecedented pandemic, go far above and beyond. It's an honor to serve on this court. Thank you for the recognition.
Thank you, Judge Phillips, and congratulations. The next award is LACBA's Pro Bono Service Award, which recognizes individuals or firms which provide gratis legal service and benefit our larger community. The 2021 award goes to Frankfurt, Kernet, Klein, and Sells. In addition to serving its entertainment and arts clients, this firm is committed to providing outstanding volunteer legal services to a broad range of organizations and associations, from children's and educational groups to populations experiencing homelessness and victims of illegal discrimination. When LACBA was targeted by cyber criminals last summer, Frankfurt, Kernet, Klein, and Sells quickly stepped in to assist in the investigation and to help with steps to resecure membership data. I want to especially mention Tanya Forsyth, and she was key in assisting us with this. And Tanya was the first chair and a founder of LACBA's Privacy and Cybersecurity section. Accepting LACBA's Pro Bono Service Award on behalf of Frankfurt, Kernet, Klein, and Sells, please welcome firm partner Kim Maynard.
Thank you, Tammy. Frankfurt Kernet is humbled and grateful to receive the 2021 Pro Bono Service Award from the Los Angeles County Bar Association and to be feted along with tonight's other wonderful honorees. Pro bono service is a big part of the Frankfurt Kernet culture. We have represented public interest groups, advocacy groups, community organizations, and underserved groups and individuals for more than 40 years. We proudly include as our pro bono clients the Anti-Defamation League, the New York Civil Liberties Union, the Trevor Project, which provides LGBTQ youth with suicide prevention and crisis intervention services, the Safe Passage Project, which provides lawyers to refugees and immigrant children, Torah Trumps Hate, which mobilizes Torah-centered Jews to advocate for social justice, and many others. With our firm's media, entertainment, and IP focus, we also provide pro bono service to support artists and art advocacy groups. And of course, we are particularly proud to have served LACBA. Here are 3 quick examples of our work. First, in 2018, we filed a Supreme Court amicus brief on behalf of the Anti-Defamation League and other civil rights organizations in support of Hawaii's challenge to then President Trump's so-called travel ban. We asked the Supreme Court to uphold lower court rulings that had blocked the ban. Among other things, our brief illustrated situations in US history where minorities had been victims of discrimination, but where the US did not intervene. Second, we have committed hundreds of hours of pro bono work in the fight to protect voting rights for all New Yorkers on behalf of the New York Civil Liberties Union. Our pro bono efforts to protect voting rights include legal analysis of the constitutionality of restrictive voting laws, as well as working with leading election law scholars around the country on an amicus brief in a case challenging a 25-day voter registration deadline law. Third, through our relationship with Safe Passage Project and Public Counsel in LA, we have been representing refugee and immigrant children who face deportation from the US back to life-threatening situations, despite strong asylum and citizenship claims. Our Los Angeles office currently represents a Guatemalan citizen of Papti descent who was forced to flee to the United States when he was 17 due to gang persecution that he encountered on account of his Papti heritage when he tried to enroll in school. I could tell inspiring stories about our pro bono clients all day, but unfortunately I'm out of time. So I'll close by underscoring how proud we are at Frankfurt Koenig to receive this wonderful award and how privileged we all feel to be able to help to underrepresented populations achieve basic human rights. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, and congratulations to everyone at the firm. This brings us to the Diversity Impact Award. Established in 2018, LACBA's Diversity Impact Award recognizes individuals and firms with a distinguished history of increasing diversity and inclusion in the practice of law while inspiring others to do the same. The 2021 recipient of LACBA's Diversity Impact Award is the Munger, Tolles & Olson LLP Fellows Program. Each year, this unique 10-month outreach program provides 25 to 40 diverse prospective law students with a firm-sponsored LSAT prep course, a supportive fellows network, and monthly workshops on the law school application process, as well as advice for navigating the rigors of law school. The program's purpose is to increase diversity in the legal profession. It is no surprise that the MTO Fellows Program was developed by a firm that consistently ranks above the national average in the number of women and diversity lawyers in their associate and partner ranks. Accepting the award on behalf of Munger, Tolles & Olson's Fellows Program is firm partner Anjan Chudre.
On behalf of my co-chair, Misty Stanford, our entire Fellows Program Committee, and our firm, Munger, Tolles & Olson, I really want to thank the Los Angeles County Bar Association for this recognition for our MTO Fellows Program. When we started this program, it was out of a frustration that so many great efforts at diversity were not really broadening the pipeline or diversifying the profession. They weren't moving the needle. And so we tried to study these efforts and learn from them. And out of that frustration became the inspiration for the program. We work with 25 to 40 prospective law students who come from diverse and disadvantaged backgrounds. These are almost all folks who are going to be the first lawyer in their family. And when we select them, we don't just focus on traditional metrics like GPA, but we look at how and what they have done to overcome adversity and how it's going to contribute to making them a really successful and great lawyer. And we don't just talk about the practical topics like how to apply. We also talk about the hard topics, the things like imposter syndrome or stereotype threat, or the kind of access to resources like how do you negotiate a scholarship. And in the course of all of those conversations, we build a community through this cohort that will be sustained support. So when you go to law school, you may be different and diverse, but at least you know that you have 25 to 40 other MTO fellows going through the same thing at other schools, if not your own, to help you get there. And that community work, that's become a big one for us. Become a community within our firm for all the folks who work on the program and talk about these issues through the lens of the fellows. And we've seen the community of the larger bar association. As we've had friends at other firms, in government, in nonprofits, on the bench, at local law schools, everybody coming together to try to support our fellows. And of course, we've seen the community of the fellows itself grow. And we've heard great stories, not just of admissions or scholarships, but of getting each other through law school and into the profession and into graduation and clerkships and jobs and all kinds of positions where they're making an impact, not just here, but all over the country. And we are so excited to see what the fellows community will do. So thank you for this recognition. We are sincerely grateful for it, but it pales in comparison to the kind of stories we hear of the impact the fellows are making. I hope you get a chance to meet with them. They're really amazing. They inspire us, and we are so grateful for the impact of the program that we hope it continues to make and the fellows will make into our profession in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Anjan, and thank you to Munger, Tolles, and Olson for creating the impactful program. Our final award is the Shattuck Prize Outstanding Lawyer Award. For more than 50 years, this award has recognized lawyers and judicial officers who have not only demonstrated extraordinary dedication to the high principles of the legal profession, but also have worked to improve the administration of justice. This year's Shattuck Prize Outstanding Lawyer Award goes to the Honorable Lee S. Edmond. Justice Edmond is the presiding justice of Division III of the California Court of Appeal, 2nd Appellate District. She was unanimously confirmed to the court in 2014 after receiving an exceptionally well-qualified rating from the Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission. Prior to this position, she was the presiding judge of the Los Angeles Superior Court. Justice Edmond was in private practice for 19 years, beginning her legal career at Adams, Duke, and Hazeltine before joining the law firm of Dewey Valentine, LLP, where she was a partner for 10 years. Justice Edmond has served on numerous local, state, and national court-related committees. She was LACBA's president during the 1998-1999 bar year and is a former president of the Association of Barristers section. Throughout her career, Justice Edmond has received a wide range of awards and honors. In 2013 alone, she was given the Diane P. Scott Integrity in Action Award, the Beacon of Justice Award, and LACBA's Outstanding Jurist Award. Congratulations to the Honorable Lee Smalley Edmond.
Thank you, Tammy, for that kind introduction. And I can't thank you, Ron Brote, and the Board of Trustees enough for this honor. And a hearty congratulations to my dear friend, Ginny Phillips, for the well-deserved Outstanding Jurist Award. I never thought that I'd receive the Shattuck Prize Award, and I am so humbled to receive it now. But I never would have gotten to this place in my legal career without the wonderful mentors and role models who helped me grow over the years, many of whom I got to know through my involvement with this association. There's no time to name them all tonight, but there are a few particularly who I want to thank publicly. Margaret Morrow, who was the LACBA president when I was Barristers president and on the association's executive committee. Pat Phillips, the first woman president of the association. Rich Walsh, the executive director I worked with for so many years, and many other past presidents, Andrea Orton, Joe Mandel, Jerry Chaliff, David Pasternak, and Jack Quinn. And Pat Kelly and Rex Heisman, who were the editors of the LA Lawyer magazine when I first came along, just to name a few. They all provided advice, guidance, encouragement, and friendship over the years, and I will forever be grateful to them. I won't even begin to try to mention tonight the many other mentors who I met in practice and on the bench, who also provided so much help to me, or the many close friends that I've developed in this association. But you can tell from that list just how much this association has meant to me over the course of my legal career. I was so very fortunate to have been active in it. However much I was able to contribute to the work of this organization was returned to me in countless blessings and friendships. And I hope that I've served as a mentor and role model to others. Those of us who are now more experienced have an obligation to mentor others. I commit to continue to do that and challenge others to do so as well. And for younger lawyers just beginning your legal careers, I urge you to seek out mentors at every step of the way. And if you have any interest in becoming a judge, you really ought to check out the new LA Superior Court Judicial Mentor Program. Of course, thank you to my family who have provided love and support over all these years. Dick Burge, my wonderful husband for 30 years next month, who's always been my rock, and our 4 beautiful daughters who make me more proud every day. And finally, the great thing about Zoom is that my mother in Illinois, who has always provided unconditional love and has been a lifelong inspiration, is able to watch this tonight. I love you, Mom. Thanks also to all of my Illinois and Colorado family who always make me laugh and were willing to tune in tonight. I thank you all so much for this honor.
Please welcome our special guest speaker, U.S. Senator Alex Padilla from the state of California.
Good evening. I'm Senator Alex Padilla, and I have the honor of representing Los Angeles and the entire state of California in the United States Senate. Thank you for inviting me to join you tonight in celebrating the new leadership of the Los Angeles County Bar Association. Congratulations to incoming President Brad Pauley, President-elect Ann Park, and all of the officers and board members. I'd also like to congratulate tonight's award recipients, Justice Lee Smalley Edmond, Judge Virginia Phillips, and Frankfurt, Kernet, Klein, and Sells. And I'm especially pleased to recognize the outstanding work of the Munger, Tolles, and Olson Fellows Program, which is helping to prepare diverse candidates for admission to law school and successful careers as attorneys. As the first Latino to represent California in the United States Senate, I know the importance of diversity at all levels of public service and in our justice system. My parents immigrated to California from Mexico in the 1960s, like so many others, in search of a better life. They arrived from different regions of Mexico with little formal education, but a tremendous work ethic and big dreams. For 40 years, my mom worked cleaning houses, and my dad worked as a short order cook. Together, they raised my sister, my brother, and me in the proud working class community of Pacoima, California, in the San Fernando Valley. When I graduated from college, I returned home to find my community under intense political pressure from Proposition 187, an anti-immigrant ballot initiative. I decided to enter public service to make sure that voices from my community are represented in the spaces where important decisions are made. Our country is stronger and fairer when our government reflects the voices and experiences of all Americans, including those from low-income backgrounds, Black and brown communities, Native Americans, and people with disabilities. That effort must include our justice system and the legal profession. We have an especially acute need for federal judges who better represent the diversity of our country. 230 judges were appointed to the federal courts during the previous administration. More than 80% of those appointees were white, and nearly 80% were men. Lawyers with significant private practice and prosecutorial experience were vastly overrepresented. But we now have an opportunity to rebuild a federal judiciary that reflects the America that it serves. As a senator and a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I'm committed to seeking out and confirming federal judges who will bring a diversity of lived and professional experience to the bench. But this necessary work is not just a task of the United States Senate. You are each leaders in this profession and mentors for the next generation of legal talent. You have a role and responsibility to diversify your own ranks, from law partners to junior attorneys and paralegals, because your decisions today are building tomorrow's pool of exceptional lawyers. We have a unique opportunity to advance the fight for justice and equity as we begin the process of recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. and it's critical that we build back a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable future for all Americans. And I know this work will rely on strong partnerships with the legal community. So I want to thank you all for the thousands of individuals and families that you serve every year through your pro bono work, including veterans, immigrants, survivors of domestic violence, and individuals living with AIDS. This community is helping to make vital legal services accessible to those who need it most. I look forward to working with you to improve and diversify the legal profession, support our courts, and secure equal access to justice. Congratulations again to tonight's awardees and to the newly installed Executive Board.
All right, so I want to just say first that this whole year and its successes have been possible because of the teamwork of members of the board, the executive committee, and staff, and all of our volunteers and people who serve on various committees and sections of the Los Angeles County Bar Association. It was very much a team effort, and any successes that we had are not mine. They really belong to everybody. And we have had some real successes this year, I think. The most important thing was the move from our old offices at 10557 7th Street to our new office at 200 South Spring Street. There was a lease that went until 2026. And the cost of the lease was about $1 million a year. And the landlord would not engage with us to come to any kinds of terms. We were not using all of the space. There were various other difficulties. We, with the help of Mark Sharp, who met with us many times on short notice, on weekends, whenever necessary, to explain and help us educate ourselves about a possible formal reorganization and what that would mean. At one point, we formally vacated the 26th floor and still got no useful response from the landlord. It was not until we vacated the 27th floor, basically walked out of our premises without a deal with the landlord, but prepared to file a reorganization petition in the United States Bankruptcy Court within days, if not hours. Having seen that we took those steps, the landlord entered into negotiations with us, and it resulted in an agreement with the landlord that is on similar terms that we would have been able to achieve in a reorganization. This does not mean that we walked away scot-free, because in an organization, there's a formula pursuant to which you owe a certain amount of rent, back rent plus future rent. So, but we are millions of dollars ahead of where we were before this started. Our new offices at 200 Spring Street are our new space because Joanne Grace rode to the rescue, because a suitable place was turning out to be difficult to find for the bar on such short notice. The new lease is 20% of what the old lease was costing us. It's short term, so we have flexibility, and it's on favorable terms. This was a real cliffhanger, but the effect on our finances was tremendous. We now have a balanced budget. It took a good part of the year, but we did it, and LACBA can expect balanced budgets going forward for the foreseeable future. Doesn't mean there's not a lot of work to do. There is, but this was a major first step. There were many other things that happened this year. I formed a task force on the future of the practice of law, chaired by Aaron Joyce, that is dealing on an ongoing basis with the state bar's efforts to fundamentally change how legal services are delivered in California. I formed a task force on racial and social justice, chaired by Phil Lamb. And that has been very active since it was first formed and has presented several really wonderful programs in this area with great attendance. LACBA partnered with the City of Los Angeles to establish a program to support equity in the issuance of cannabis licensing in the city. And with the help of Seth Chavez, Director of Operations, LACBA and the new cannabis section established a pro bono panel of attorneys to help applicants through the permitting process, which has already represented over 100 cases. Of course, we partnered with the court to facilitate communication between the court and attorneys about the many changes that were made necessary by COVID-19. The Los Angeles Lawyer magazine was successfully transitioned to a digital-only publication to rave reviews under the careful guidance of the editorial board led by Carmela Pagay and chair of the board and editor John Lowe. I know they had many sleepless nights getting this, I wanted to say to press, but to the digital presentation, but they did it. It looks great. And that was a major cost saving and a major modernization. Of course, a lot of very important work is done quietly by our 17 committees and I believe 28 sections throughout the pandemic, as they do every year. They continue to do their work. Some of the committees are very important, including Judicial Evaluation Committee and PREC, and the sections continue to host CLE programs, networking, meetings of their leadership, and provide service to their members in many ways. Phil Lamb, who is the Vice President of DIO, successfully established at LACBA a hub, which is a place where the affinity bars and affiliate bars and others can go to share information, host events, and so forth. And that has gotten off the ground with great reviews. COVID, of course, brought some significant changes because a lot of staff is working from home. A lot of programs have been presented by video, but we are looking forward to going back to the offices and to meeting each other in person. But it is likely that a significant amount of our work going forward will continue to be by video. And again, I want to say this was a group effort. When I asked for help, it was given. I'm sure I've left out all kinds of important events. And if it happens to be your favorite event, then I apologize. But I want to specifically mention Brad Pauley, President-elect, soon to be President, Ron Brote, immediate past President, Christian Adrian, Treasurer, Phil Lamb, Vice President, Joanne Grace, Vice President, David Gurnick, Vice President, Ann Park, Senior Vice President, and of course, Dan Bissey, Executive Director, Vanessa Villagomez, Director of Administration, Jasmine Ramirez is the board secretary, and she was there with us all the way to keep us walking the straight and narrow and our records in order. Special thanks to Jeff Margolis, Brent DeVaron, Naz and her committee on concerning the CFJ issues. And I know we never mentioned staff. I want to mention staff. Stan, of course, Seth Chavez, Glenn Bennett is the Director of Finance. Vanessa, I mentioned. Tom Walsh is the Media Director and helped plan this event tonight. And Tom Horn is the Director of Web Services. That's only a few people. There are changes, but I think there's about 65, 66 staff members. They all work very hard to provide services and make it possible for us to do our work, hold our events, have our meetings, and move LACBA forward. So thank you to everybody. And I look forward to working next year with Brad.
It is now my great pleasure to swear in the new Barristers officers, and I'm going to invite them all to join me on the screen. I see that they're here. I'm going to ask each of you to please raise your right hand to be sworn. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will diligently support and promote
that I will diligently support and promote
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
faithfully and vigorously discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations to all of you. Have an absolutely wonderful year. I am thrilled now to have the opportunity to swear in the new president of the Barristers of the LA County Bar Association, Sarah Kelly Kilgor. Sarah, let me ask you if you would please to raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will diligently support and promote
that I will diligently support and promote
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
faithfully and vigorously discharge
faithfully and vigorously discharge
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations
Thank you.
and have a wonderful year.
Thank you again to Justice Edmond. And before I begin my remarks, I'd like to offer my congratulations to you on receiving this year's Shattuck Price Outstanding Lawyer Award, and also my congratulations to all of the honorees this evening. I would also like to thank my colleagues at Greenberg Gross for their mentorship, support, and guidance, all of which has allowed me to be here today. As many of you know, the Barristers Young Attorneys section, or BYA, is LACBA's largest and most diverse section, with members from all different backgrounds and practice areas. While we face many challenges as the latest to join the legal community, we are also uniquely situated to help better that community and society at large. That is why this bar year, in addition to providing meaningful development and networking opportunities, will be focused on finding ways in which our members can aid the local community, whether through pro bono service or other volunteer work. And those opportunities are invaluable. Often, serving pro bono clientele gives BYA members their first opportunity to take a deposition, to go to trial, to draft a complete sales agreement. And these same opportunities and services help build BYA's membership and promote stronger relationships between our members, the legal community, and the public, so that BYA can be a coalition for good, improving access to justice and ensuring that the rule of law is upheld. Of course, one of our foremost goals will continue to be building and creating career opportunities for BYA members. As we return to in-person programming this year, we hope to resume our key events like Bench Meets Bar, where our members are able to meet and interact with the local judiciary outside the courtroom, as well as smaller, more intimate social programs like Cooking with the Barristers, where our members can get to know one another and start building relationships with other new and young attorneys, our future partners and clients. In closing, I want to thank BYA's membership for entrusting me with the great responsibility of leadership this year. I also want to thank Brad Pauley, who is being installed as LACBA's president later tonight. I have worked with Brad on many committees, and I know how dedicated he is to LACBA and to promoting and supporting the BYA. I look forward to working with him again this year and to working with each of you in support of the LA County Bar Association. I encourage anyone with ideas or comments for the BYA to reach out to me directly. Thank you all. I wish everyone a great night and a terrific bar year.
All right, it is now my great pleasure and honor to swear in the LA County Bar Association Board and officers, with the exception of the new president. So I see everybody is on the screen. Let me ask you if you would please raise your right hands to be sworn. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will diligently support and promote
that I will diligently support and promote
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association,
and to the best of my ability, faithfully and vigorously discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office which I am about to enter.
Thank you all very much, and congratulations. Have a wonderful year. All right, it is now my great honor to swear in the new president of the Los Angeles County Bar Association, Brad Pauley. You ready for this, Brad?
I am.
All right. Let me ask you please to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will diligently support and promote
that I will diligently support and promote
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association
the mission of the Los Angeles County Bar Association,
and to the best of my ability, faithfully and vigorously discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Presiding Justice Lee Edmond. On behalf of the 2021 Board of Trustees, welcome to LACBA's installation. I want to congratulate and celebrate our honorees, District Judge Virginia Phillips, recipient of this year's Outstanding Jurist Award, Presiding Justice Lee Edmond, recipient of the Shattuck Price Award, the Munger, Tolles, and Olson Fellows Program, recipient of the Diversity Impact Award, and Frankfurt, Kernet, Klein, and Sells, recipient of the Pro Bono Service Award. I also want to congratulate our new trustees and welcome them to the board. And I wish to acknowledge and thank our keynote speaker, United States Senator Alex Padilla, who also hails from the San Fernando Valley, for his inspiring remarks. For those of you who don't know me, I grew up in Southern California. I was raised by my mom, who had a long career as a registered nurse. I worked my way through college as a grocery store clerk in the produce department, surfing when I had time. I graduated from UCLA and went to UCLA Law School. I started my legal career as a litigator at a large downtown LA firm. And for the last 18 years, I've been an appellate lawyer at Horvitz & Levy in Burbank. Like many of you, I wanted to be a lawyer because lawyers are essential to the proper functioning of our democracy and to upholding the rule of law. Without lawyers, the courts can't function and citizens can't resolve their disputes. To be a lawyer truly is to commit oneself to a life of public service. And lawyers do their best work on behalf of their clients and the public when they communicate, cooperate, and associate with other lawyers for the betterment of the profession. For almost a century and a half, LACBA has exemplified that ethic of professionalism and service. So I'm honored and humbled to serve as LACBA's president for the 2021-2022 bar year. And I wish to thank my friend and colleague, President Tammy Jensen, for her extraordinary efforts and vision on behalf of the association. Tammy made brave and sometimes difficult decisions this year that have placed LACBA on a sound financial footing for the long term. Those decisions will allow LACBA to serve its members effectively for years to come, and so we are all in Tammy's debt. I also want to thank the current Board of Trustees who worked shoulder to shoulder with Tammy to make those tough decisions and bring about needed changes that have secured LACBA's future. All of you truly are leaders and have shown tremendous courage and foresight over the last year. And what a year it's been. Each of us, our families, our colleagues, and the entire world have been tested by the global pandemic in ways few of us would have believed possible just a year and a half ago. We can take pride in our resilience, even as we mourn those we have lost, and as we cope with the ongoing changes the crisis has wrought. LACBA too has been resilient, adapting quickly so that we could continue to serve our members and indeed reach more of them than we ever have before. Over the course of the coming year, I plan to renew that focus on serving LACBA's members and growing its membership. We will continue to embrace technology to facilitate our programming, as we have throughout the pandemic. But at the same time, we will explore safe and responsible ways to renew our live programs, because being a member of LACBA is fundamentally about connecting with other lawyers. We also will expand the many benefits of LACBA membership, and with the assistance of President-elect Ann Park, we will further augment our efforts to support new and younger lawyers and redouble our efforts at law student outreach, because we know that this newest generation of attorneys represents LACBA's future. At the same time, we will enhance our efforts to promote diversity in the profession. We recently created a permanent diversity in the profession section of LACBA, and we have for several years had a permanent officer position on our board, Vice President of Diversity, Inclusion, and Outreach. As a result of these efforts, and through the leadership of VP of Diversity Phil Lamb, LACBA has strengthened its bonds with our affiliates and our affinity bar associations throughout the county. Those efforts will continue, and we will explore new ways to cooperate with our partners going forward. No discussion of LACBA's partners would be complete, of course, without mentioning our justice partners in the courts. LACBA has a long history of partnering with and advocating for our courts, whether it be on matters affecting the administration of justice or the need for adequate court funding. We will continue to work with Presiding Judge Eric Taylor, Assistant Presiding Judge Samantha Jessner, and other court leaders to augment those efforts in the coming year. And speaking of LACBA's impact in the broader legal community, we will redouble our efforts in support of our 501c3 pro bono organization, Council for Justice. Each year, CFJ serves thousands of Angelenos and provides millions of dollars of legal services through its 4 projects: domestic violence, immigration, veterans, and HIV/AIDS. The CFJ projects are a vital way in which LACBA and its members serve the broader community, and they must continue to thrive. In closing, I wish to thank my friends and colleagues who have helped me in my career. Special thanks are in order for my partners and colleagues at Horvitz and Levy, who have consistently supported and encouraged my work on behalf of LACBA. I also want to thank LACBA's Executive Director, Stan Bissey, the Director of Administration, Vanessa Villagomez, Director of Operations, Seth Chavez, and the architect of this evening's Programs Director, Tom Walsh. I also want to thank the staffs of LACBA and CFJ for their professionalism and for the hard work they do every day on behalf of LACBA's members and the broader community. I also want to express my gratitude to the Installation Committee for organizing this event. I express my sincere appreciation to every one of our sponsors for their generous support. And I want to thank my family. Finally, I wish to thank our members for supporting LACBA and for attending this installation. LACBA is no greater than the sum of its parts. It exists for you, and it exists because of you. I appreciate your membership, and I encourage each of you to get involved in a section, on a committee, or with assisting with one of the CFJ projects. This concludes the formal portion of this evening's program. We will now transition to the virtual mixer. I look forward to seeing many of you in the breakout rooms, and I hope to see many more of you as we return to live in-person events this year. Good night.